I saw a light in my yard. One dark and gloomy night, around 9 o'clock, I got this strange feeling. The kind of feeling you get when something just feels wrong. You see, at the time, I lived on the first floor of a 2-story fourplex, which is a single home split into 4 separate smaller units. Our portion of the house was the smallest, with only one room, a tiny kitchen, and a living room slash dining slash office. You get the picture. It was small. Not the best place for 2 people to live in. I was around 11 or 12, and I lived only with my mom. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, back to the feeling. Yes, that feeling of fear and dread bubbling up into the pit of your stomach. I was sitting in my room, the one bedroom, playing some games when I thought I heard our family car's lock sound. This was weird because my mother was currently in the shower, and we didn't have a very common car to where it could have been a different person's same model. I blew it off because I wasn't positive I had actually heard it. Resuming my games, nothing seemed to happen, and in time the odd, strange feeling seemed to dissipate. About 10 minutes later, I hadn't heard the shower running, but I also realized I hadn't heard my mom leave the bathroom. By now, it had already been around 30 minutes, and nothing. As I thought about it, I hadn't heard anything at all. I was starting to get worried, and that feeling of fear quickly rose back up. I once again paused my game and stepped out of my room. As I walked the short steps to the bathroom, I noticed the hall light was off. The bathroom door was also wide open, and the light in there off as well. I saw my mom wrapped in a robe, just staring out the window. "What are you doing?" I announced. My mother quickly shushed me and motioned me to come inside. She pointed towards the window, and at first I was pretty confused. But then I saw it. Our backyard was where all the cars sat. There was a small shed, and next to the shed, under a tent, sat our car. Next to our car, just right next to the driver's side door, was a white light. It was as if it was illuminated from a flashlight, but it lit up nothing around it. It was almost an orb of light. It would flick on and then off. No real pattern, no real... Well, that's it. There was no pattern. It was seemingly random. I asked my mom what she thought it might be. She had no clue. We stepped into my room in hopes of getting a better view, but the same result. Just a ball of never-moving light. It didn't stop, and I had no idea what it was. The feeling of fear slowly turned deeper into dread as I really began to get scared and confused. Mom was right there with me. She called her boyfriend and asked for what he thought we should do. He really didn't know, as it all sounded so strange, and indeed it definitely was. Now, my dad lived in the same town, but my parents do not like each other one bit, so I was surprised when she asked me to call him. While explaining the situation, I couldn't help but start to cry. I was genuinely freaked out. It had been around 25 minutes now, and the light was still going. Off and on and off and on. My dad, half drunk mind you, sprinted a solid mile to my house and got there in only a few minutes. Once he got there, I remember just staring out the window, and I hadn't seen the light for a little bit longer than normal. And all of a sudden, this figure just starts running towards the back. It was my dad. And when he got back there, he saw nothing. What freaks me out to this day is there were so many things I could have done. I could have flashed the lights on the car to light up the area, could have shined a flashlight, or stepped outside and just taken a look. But did I really want to know what was there? That's what gets me the most. Do I really want to know what was on the side of our car that dark, dark night?